Yeah, it's your boy Ray Ray on the mic. Let's go.
Mic check, mic check. Welcome to On the Mic with Ray White, where we share life lessons, encourage self-reflection, and equip you to take action. My name is Ray White, and I am juiced that you're taking time to listen to this episode today. And I want to let y'all know right now that culture change starts with you. When you hear that phrase, what do you think about? I hope that with the phrasing of culture change starts with you, you kind of dissect it a little bit to understand exactly what it is as being called in and called up in order for us to create culture change within our communities. One being the word of culture change. Culture change can seem very vast and very broad because culture is such a dynamic, movable, formulable concept that is based upon your surroundings, the people that you're with, the spaces that you inhabit, and the type of events and activities that are happening around you. So it can literally be the community that you're a part of. It could be the mindset that you take action in. It could be just what's on your social media feed, but in any space that creates opportunities for people to come together and be together is the culture. But when we talk about changing that allows us to look at what is within the culture and decide and have the conversation amongst us to say, is this what we want to be about? Do we want to be about these types of values and these types of status symbols that make us who we are? And if not, what can we do to make changes to that? Now, the last part starts with you. That one gets me tripped up quite a bit because oftentimes we look around our society and we look around outside of ourselves and see just how complicated and complex our world is. I mean, shoot, you can look inside your own household and see how complex it is because of the people that are associated with it and their own perspectives, their own worldviews, and their own values that are constantly in tension with one another within any particular space. And then when you broaden that out to your home, your school, your workplace, your city, your state, your nation, it continues to get so and so large that it feels so overwhelming. Creating change at that mass scale can be very overwhelming. But what I want to bring to you all is to center it back down to starting with you, because culture change starts with you. It starts with your perspective and understanding of what the values and the culture of the community that's around you and your involvement within it. And that fact that you can control yourself, the types of changes, the type of perspectives that you can make in order to make the switch within you. And through that, influence the people around you. So for an example, I actually was rereading Why We Can't Wait, Martin Luther King Jr. here. And essentially it goes through a collection of essays and journal prompts of MLK's journey during the 1963 civil rights movement, and which is fascinating because it truly gives out a blueprint here of how Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was thinking, the relationships that he built, the perspective that he had in order to help advance the African Americans during the 60s in the political state in our communities to provide access needed for us in the future. And what's fascinating about this particular book is that he literally started in the space where he lived. He started in Birmingham, Alabama. He started with using his voice. He started with building relationships with the people around him. He started with a vision of what life could look like beyond and greater than the context in which Black Americans were living at that time. And it was with him that was one of the pieces, one of the catalysts, in addition to the other social movements and social leaders at that time that worked together through relationship to say, these are the concepts in which we want to see things differently with our community. And this is how we want to go about doing it. But it was one of the things that he did in his own concepts, in his own time frame, to help make that change versus look outside and expect other people to make that change for him. If we look in our own context, in our own ways, we can easily have that same type of drive and same type of courageousness to change the status quo around us by looking within ourselves to see What do we want to see done differently within my community? And what can I do with my skill sets and strengths to help be that change that I want to see? And who can I build relationships with to help expand that change beyond what it is that within my own confines or what the areas that I have control and giftings in? And through the strength in numbers, we can create the social movement that allows us to see the greater growth towards what we were trying to accomplish within our community. So a couple examples actually locally in today's age, the Latinos Unidos Siempre group within the Salem Keizer area are a group of youth who identify as Latina, Latinx, and Hispanic within the Salem Keizer School District saw that the drastic numbers or the drastic oppression that the Hispanic community is experiencing within the school district. And so rather than in addition to speaking up and talking about the types of things, they organized and found ways to provide awareness to the school to prison pipeline that was affecting the Latina community. They also organized community events to help uplift the youth within that space, and then also challenge political powers of those in power to provide policies and positionings that help change the trajectory and change the data related to the Latina Hispanic community. What's truly important about that context is that those kids really looked within themselves to say, these are the things that we do not like that is happening to us. And here's what we want to do to change that so our community could do better moving forward and not only improve the way in which that we are supporting the youth, but also take a look at the other Black and brown students in the community, in the school districts as well, and work to be the catalyst necessary to change the trajectory of those students too. Culture change starts with you. You have to have the ability to look in the mirror and understand what type of change you want to see, what ways that you can change, make that change, and who can you be in relationship with to make that change for yourself. And I can understand that could be really complicated. And if you look in the show notes, what I provided is the social change strategy. And this lays out a 6-part framework to help get you in the mindset and the perspective to see the type of change that you want to see, but also how to sustain that change throughout through sustain that change towards growth and positivity in your community. So that way you don't have to feel like it could be a flash in the pan, or it doesn't evolve into something greater that can expand across various cultures or various dynamics. But you also have to feel so overwhelmed thinking that you have to change the full system right off the bat, where you could just focus on the specific areas that you see today and then let that expound upon itself as you keep taking steps moving forward. So in the chat, you will find the link. The social change strategy is completely free to you because I think this is truly important. And the more that we can get people with the framework and lens to say that I can change my world around me, the greater our communities will be moving forward. So check that out. Drop that in the show notes, or check that out in the show notes. And I would love to hear what type of culture change you're looking to make within your spaces and what can we do to help. I would love to find a way to help support you and partner with you and provide more of the awareness that these types of social changes are happening around us, and we can rally around you to make that change happen for the better in your community. Continue to share your story with others. I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.